Hello there, happy Friday, and welcome to the new and improved Green Pill. Now, that's not a reference to the Thai, and I wouldn't get used to this. I'm just en route to a wedding right now. But the reason for that being is thanks to some valuable feedback from my network on last week's show. Apparently, Neo in the Matrix took the red pill, not the blue pill, to find out the truth. And the red pill has all sorts of negative, extreme right wing connotations to it now. So I wanted to move away from all that stuff and rebrand as such. And green is such a fitting color. I think it's got great connotations to health. It's my favorite color, and it's exceptionally important in today's pillar, which is the third and final pillar of the foundation, and it's nutrition. And I believe it's the most important because I found in my lifetime I've had some bad night's sleep and still got a great workout in the next day and had good nutrition. I've also had poor exercise days but still had good nutrition and good sleep on them. But I found that when nutrition falls down, when I've had a lot of bad food and drink, it's nigh impossible to get a good night's sleep after that and to actually exercise at your peak levels the next day too. So I wanted to bring nutrition and fitness expert Sean Stevenson as the data source. I've learned so much from his podcast, The Model Health Show. It's #1 rated on Apple Podcasts. And he's wrote a book called Eat Smarter. I'm going to include that as well. And what I've learned from this, the most insightful piece I wanted to bring to you was the idea of the calorie. Now, he breaks down the history of the calorie. And I think when people think about nutrition, the very first thing you think of is calories. I know I did. And what he's broken down is how there's actually studies that have been done by meta studies by UCLA, and they've concluded that if you actually go on a calorie restricted diet, it's actually one of the most consistent predictors of weight gain in the future. Now, that sounds pretty paradoxical, but if you actually look at the history of the calorie, it's maybe not so confusing. It was actually a unit of measurement in the 1800s in physics and engineering. It was never in any way meant to be associated with nutritional science. That became popular in 1918 when there was a best-selling book by a physicist who essentially equated it to food, and in it used some pretty convincing terminology. I mean, it sold 2 million copies and it was very popular at the time, but they equated the idea of eating food to sin. That's like a direct quote from the book, and it was glorifying giving up the idea of eating food. Now, fundamentally, food is fuel. Why that doesn't sound so good, but at the time, it was very compelling during World War One, and food rationing even was needed. So the timing seemed remarkably convenient, and I just look at it myself, and from a perspective of how does this all make sense? Is it really true that you can equate a chemical process to human beings? In engineering, it's essentially a unit of how much the energy from the machine is needed to destroy something. But if you equate that to a human being, our machines, our metabolisms to break down our food are all fundamentally different. For every single one of us has a different metabolism, and that's constantly changing. So how can the unit of measurement possibly stay the same? And also, is really all calories the same value to the human body? Are you telling me 1,000 calories from McDonald's is going to do the exact same amount of good or bad for me as 1,000 calories of raw salad and nuts and healthy food? I've never really believed that. It's never intuitively made sense to me. And I think what I'm trying to say from all this is I learned the calorie isn't gospel. So I guess that's my action point for you for this week, is to forget the idea of the importance of the calorie. And that's coming from somebody who spent hours working out every single calorie in his diet and creating Excel nutrition plans based on it. It's not necessary. The calorie isn't of that fundamental importance. The action point is to start thinking more about the quality of what's on your plate and in your glass rather than the number of calories. I hope this was helpful. Do let me know any feedback and your thoughts. And remember, I hope you have a great day and weekend. And remember that to stack the odds in your favor and feel good right now.